Okay, guys. What is going on? Obviously, I got to introduce myself every time because this might be the one you just come along. I'm actually speaking right now to you from a live stream. Every morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., we do Christ and Crypto in the Morning show. We go over three sections. The first one is long sum, short sum, where we go over all of TA for the day. It was HBAR because we're going to talk about HBAR and XLM and XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. That's what we went over today. And now we're in the daily topics, where every day we talk about something different, from either politics to people investment to world government stuff to deep dives in crypto. And I've spoken about HBAR a lot. I spoke about HBAR 2 years ago and told people to buy HBAR under a penny. Okay. And now we got some more HBAR things going. I know I had a client discussing, I would just say Ilya talking about the staking and got me looking into it. Because, you guys are the reason we all keep informed. There's like 5,000 cryptos, and it's hard to really keep pace with what is utility, what's speculation, and then what is trash, right? And this is not one of those trash. This is speculation, but massive utility is on the way. So let's talk about Hedera Hashgraph today. I think I'm recording because this will go up later. So make sure you hit that notification bell, all those things. Remember, the goal is 10 likes. So if there are 10 people watching, hopefully every single person has given a like. That is the goal, to help the algorithm out. Okay, so let's dive in, because this guy here, I'm sure you recognize. That's Mr. Wonderful. That's Kevin O'Leary. And he was on the Crypto Outlook, I don't know, almost a month ago. And I know this guy here. This guy here has been so pro crypto over the last year. It has been ridiculous. This man has got a lot of money in crypto. He's got his 20%. I won't go into his breakdown, but he really, this is the guy you got to follow. This is the guy you have to see what he's doing, because he's invested in the XRPs, the XLMs, the HBARs, right? So when you got a guy like that actually being able to be questioned about it, that's what we want to pay attention to. So I'm going to put my headphones on. I'm going to go ahead and give you a full screen. Now let's hit play.
Expert. He'd like to, Kevin, a question for you from Patent Expert. He'd like to know, how does HBAR and Hedera play into the crypto market software scenario?
Again, you're trying to guess the use case. And if you believe there's economic value, you may allocate. And so these are not my largest positions by any means, but in the case of HBAR, the easy way to understand it is it's a quasi-decentralized, quasi-centralized chain. And the reason it needs to be that way is when you're a Boeing or a large global manufacturer, you want some element of centralization, because you're trying to control supply chains, which has become a big buzzword in the last 2 years because of the pandemic, and indeed has slowed down some manufacturing, including the aerospace industry. So HBAR is being used as a use case for actually making it easier to track and control and make the supply chain more productive. Now, if you believe, and as I do, that that's going to work to some level, well, there's a lot of economic value there. In other words, if it works for Boeing, it'll work for others in that space. They'll standardize on that industry, on that particular chain. That's what happens with these chains. Once a player in an industry says, well, this is great for me, like Solana, they're trying to make the number one chain for NFTs, and that may happen because it's very fast, way faster than what's going on in Ethereum before it goes to proof of stake. And who knows if it really will speed up if that happens, if it happens. And so a lot of this development work going on is being funded by the foundations. And I know in the case of FTX, where I'm a shareholder, and I'll disclose again, a paid spokesperson, they have billions of dollars to put to work to develop these chains for their benefit and the benefit of everybody on their platform. And so these are behemoth platforms. You think about it, it's kind of interesting, because FTX is a centralized platform that's investing in decentralized wallets. Why are they doing that? Because it's smart to do that. Acquire the customer once, never lose them. Provide them with decentralization for maybe NFTs or whatever else they want, but keep a centralized wallet for large holdings that have to be audited, and they need the infrastructure for compliance. So I think all of this is to come, but I'll just tag it again by saying it's all just software.
It's all just software. You hear that? It's all just software. Well, I don't know if I believe how simple he just put it, but at the same time, he spoke about Man, the headphones messed my hair up. He spoke about Boeing being involved in Hedera, right, and supply chain, and we know with all the ships out there that are just, one was just unstuck on the East Coast, and then the West Coast is ridiculous when it comes to the supply chain and them purposely holding up the books or the boats, shipping docks, and all these things, right? So won't go into that, but I want to go into Hedera. Now, Hedera, guys, one is not a blockchain. It is a hash graph, which means it works faster. Let's start right there. And then you heard Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, speak about Ethereum 2.0. If it ever happens, they're just getting people to say, hey, it's coming and coming until this whole thing comes crashing down. I'm not sure Ethereum 2.0 is going to happen next year, but it was supposed to happen a year and a half ago. So we'll see. Maybe the SEC lawsuit is holding them back. Anyway, this is the Hedera Global Council. Okay? And I just want to see you heard him mention Boeing, right? Which is out of Chicago, Illinois. All right. They're in the industrial. They've been a member of Hedera since 2019. Okay. And then you see Google. Google has been a member of Hedera Hashgraph since 2020. And this is what got a lot of people excited. I was into it reading that I really thought Google and IBM was, I'm going to go into this. And then IBM has been involved with them since 2019. Now, you know IBM's also involved in Stellar Lumen, XLM, and Jeb McCaleb. Okay, now Hedera, again, guys, is not proof of work. It is distributed ledger technology. And you guys know that every single thing that I like to either invest in, talk about, trade in, or really invest. Let's just be honest. What I invest in is anything that is distributed ledger technology. And Hbar was one of those on the hash graph that just really caught my attention because of the partners. IBM, Google, Boeing, DBS out of Singapore, which has been around since 2021. That's a recent one. Standard Bank, which you guys know who else is a partner with them, right? And these are just some of the things, including Deutsche Telekom, T-Mobile, 2019. These are just some of the connections there. And now when we go into, it's the use cases, right? Some of the use cases here. And I'm just going to give you, we're going to go into myths and staking here in a second, but just an introduction. If you want to know more information, I definitely did a video. Maybe I'll link it later to the daily topics one. I'll link it on the watch next. I'll make that Hbar. Payments. We know that. Tokenized assets. Swaps. Just like XLM, XRP, right? That's where it's for. Fraud mitigation. For identity life cycles. Permissioned blockchain, right? In other words, creating a private ledger. So we can create a private ledger. Permissioned ledger. Okay? And I know they're saying blockchain, but it's really a hash graph. Okay? Case studies. We don't need to talk about enterprise gaming, right? Gaming, we know that's there. Healthcare, it's there. Enterprise, it's there. They're trying to do everything. You see that? Google, Boeing, IBM, DBS. Oh, yeah. LG. That's another big provider. That's two cell phones. LG and Deutsche Telekom. That's two of the cell phone industries. Something's happening there. And Boeing for chain supply. Google, IBM. That's a good thing to be there. Let's see here. I already clicked on that. That's the governance thing. I'm going to roll on down more so we can see. They have decentralized nodes. At scale, they have decentralized nodes. Stability, fairness. Where else is the other one I was looking for here? The governance was what we'll probably talk about. Okay, so again, here are the partners. And that's who they're set with. Okay, moving on. All right, now that we're here, I would like to dispel some of these myths. And this is by the Hedera team. And here's the thing. One of the times, like some of their stuff's not updated on the website. And I'll show you that. I think it's the staking thing. It says the staking was coming in 2019. Now, some projects have staked. You could earn yields and earning like on BitTrue at one point or in some other wallets. You're able to earn 2 to 3%. And I have taken advantage of that sometimes. But there's an issue when it comes to me, when it comes to locking up stuff on exchanges versus custodians, right? And we'll go over that soon. But let's go over some of these myths. Here it says, this is from April 13th, so about last week, by the Hedera team. It says, Hedera is the most used sustainable enterprise-grade public network for decentralized economy. Remember, you need stuff for public, private, right? Retail, and institutional. We all know that XRP is not for public, it's really for the private, and it's institutional investing, right? We know XLM is retail investing and mainly for the public. You got investing with spending and use cases. Here, this is also a public ledger for enterprise grade. So for companies, for moving through, okay? Not so much for you and I are spending. And I was for a while thinking that Hbar would move money overseas. I'm still trying to decide if that's a possibility, like XLM and XRP. I'm looking into that distributed ledger technology for China and Japan areas and that part. And you see they're set up with Singapore, right? And some other ones. There might be some currencies moving in there. I'm not quite sure yet, waiting for that. But let's go over these myths. Is Hashgraph open source? Is Hedera permissionless? Does the platform have smart contracts? These are some of the questions that I'd love to go over with you because they brought it up to us. So let's see what's popping. Myth number 1. Hashgraph consensus and Hedera services are proprietary. Okay, Hedera's network services officially support SDKs, and every developer tool is open source. And Apache 2.0 license, the coding thing. Hashgraph consensus will be open source this year under Apache 2.0 license. Okay, cool. You can find it on GitHub. So Hedera Hashgraph, like the XRP ledger, is open source. That's nice. Number 2, can you build dApps on Hedera? Hedera improvement proposals include core protocol changes as well as changes to the application frameworks and protocols built on top of the Hedera public networks and used by the community. The goal of Hedera improvement proposals, or HIPs, is to have a place for everyone to propose new features, collect community thoughts and input on a particular issue, document all subject matters in one place, and provide a status on their implementation. You can view all the HIPs on Hedera.com. So they're saying it's a governance, it's a voting aspect. So people who are building on it have to vote. Okay, that's not bad. Myth number 3. Hedera is a private permissionless network for enterprises. So only, is that a myth? It says here, Hedera network is a public network infrastructure for everybody. Even though I just read that was mainly for enterprises, obviously they're saying that's a myth. Okay, they're saying that's a myth. And here's why. For everyone to anonymously create accounts and build decentralized applications on them without telling everyone who they are or performing know your customer and anti-money laundering. So they're saying here, Hedera Hashgraph is able to move these things, build applications on, and you don't have to do a KYC or AML. Does that sound like that's going to be an issue with the SEC? Gary, right? That might be an issue with Gary. We'll see. However, the Hedera network today is operated by members of the governing council, and we'll go over who they are. Each of the 26 members independently operates and maintains an individual node in their own data center or public cloud, ensuring full decentralization of consensus. This year, Hedera is allowing for community nodes, which is any member or Hedera community can independently operate a node and earn Hbar. So anybody can own an Hbar node. And in future, the entire network will be permissionless. So we'll have to look into those Hbar nodes. Myth number 4, Hedera does not have performant smart contracts. Hedera smart contracts, or 2.0, is an implementation of the Bessie EVM, Solidity? Yeah, I don't know why I just said Solidity. That has been optimized for the Hedera network and Hashgraph consensus. Solidity-based smart contracts on Hedera offer the following benefits. No congestion fees for gas and transaction fees are fixed. 15 million gas per second. 300 plus transactions per second. Integration with native token services on Hedera map to ERC20, ERC721, and ERC1155 standards at 10,000 transactions per second and under a fraction of a penny per transaction fee. So they're saying here that Hedera is fast. That's cool. And it has smart contracts. These are things that we just have not seen yet. We're coming up on these things. So why invest in Hedera? Well, it's distributed ledger technology. Let me put this here. I don't work for them. I'm not sponsored by them. I just read where this is kind of going. And when you look at the governance, and this is what I wanted to talk in, right? These, with the people, the council, this is who's in it. And Ubisoft just now got into it. You need to have $10 billion in assets, according to Hedera, to be a part of governance. $10 billion in assets. So this is not someone just messing around. These are working with the big dogs. And I think they're deep in there. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Now, moving on to staking. And I got to say this because this is important, and I'm not going to play this whole thing, but it says changes to both the Hashpack and standard platforms will happen. So we're going to talk about these things. People who want to stake need to know there's a risk for when you stake. And this guide, which we're going to speak about, comes with risks including market risk, execution risk, smart contract code risk, regulatory risk, custody risk, and custody risk. Staking is not suitable for all participants. You must fully understand these risks and have the ability to evaluate them and take due regard before participating. Okay? Now, Standard Labs has started what's called HbarX, which is the first staking solution for HBAR tokens. And I'm not going to go through all of this, but they are basically they are launching a liquid staking solution on Hedera. So they're launching soon. It says users will have the ability to stake their HBAR through Standards DApp and will mint a new liquid token, HbarX. Every time staking rewards are added to the pool, the HbarX. HBAR exchange rate will increase using the formula. No one cares about the formula unless you're a tech geek. When users stake HBAR, they will mint HbarX at the prevailing exchange. During an unstake operation, HBAR will be given back to the user at prevailing exchange rate while the HbarX will be burned. So you will gain HbarX in circulation with your HBAR rewards, and then you will receive HBAR back eventually to the user at the prevailing exchange rate while the HbarX is being burned. So you can gain HbarX, it sounds like, and then sell your HbarX into HBAR. When you sell your HbarX will be burned. You will get more HBAR. Completely could be wrong about that, but that's what I'm reading right there. It says it will launch. The reason we're talking about it is the first week of April 2022. So this just launched. At launch, only the stake option will be available for users. Options to unstake and withdraw will be added in the second version of the contract, which will launch July of 2022, which might be in the middle of the bull run towards the end. So it says HBAR staked and V1 contract will be locked until the availability of the unstaked withdrawal options until V2. So here's your key right there. You lock this up and you go into it with HBAR, your stuff's minimally locked up to July 2022. Now let me tell you about this. If HBAR, when you lock this up, breaks below this 4.414, okay, and it says we have some kind of event that causes the 0.5 not to hold, like right now we're rocking and rolling. We're rocking and rolling right now. We bounced off at 18.7. We're at 19.7, okay? However, if this decides to roll over on itself and break below this and you are staking, this is at least going to go to 12 cents minimum, okay? If that breaks below. Now, when that happens, you can get liquidated. You can lose your staking because staking is about helping other people. So just be very careful when you stake. People can get liquidated. In fact, that happened a lot on the Uniswaps and the Sushi swaps and all those DeFi and Yearn and field financing and all that 2,000% API staking, right? All that. People got liquidated during those things. So this is no difference. Okay? You can go to standardlabs.com, and this is where the staking happens. You can get different wallets. They're doing Terra Luna, Hedera, and Polygon Matic. Their funds, the people who are staking this, is not Hedera. Remember that. This is not Hedera Hashgraph doing the staking. Okay, so they have no responsibility for this. This is Standard Labs, who is partnered with Coinbase Ventures, Pantera, True Ventures, Jump Capital, Hipspear, Blockchain.com, Excel, Solidity Ventures. Man, these are some ballers, right? So those are the funds. The blockchain partners they're with, Terra Labs, Soluna Foundation, and you know they have been buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin, Phantom and Hedera. Now the angles here, let's see here. These are the angles. These are the people who are doing stuff behind the scenes. The co-founder and COO, Chief Operating Officer at Polygon, the CEO at Polygon, the co-founder at Anchorage, the co-founder and CEO at Staked, the head of crypto at Coinbase, the investor at Race Capital, the co-founder of Bitconomy, the other co-founder of Bitconomy, the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer at Afterpay, and the co-founder and CEO at APNS and Coin Decentralized DEX. That is the people behind this. So again, be very, very careful. They have their light paper here instead of calling it a white paper. It's just a little introduction on what is happening, so you can go and look at this, guys. Again, this is standardlabs.com, and that's where you can go look at that for Hedera Hashgraph. Again, I just want to go over some myths, go over the staking, give you a direction where we're going. Right now, they are rocking and rolling, but like everything, it's still in the speculation stage and almost time to go. Almost time to go. It's almost time to go. So, are you an Hbar holder? What do you think about it? What do you know about, when did you get in? Did you get in on this channel when I told you, what, maybe January of 2020, I think is when I started talking about this? Are you hodling? Again, my targets for this are maybe $1.50. The question is, if this hits $1.50 while you're staking, you're not going to be able to withdraw that. So those are my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Let me know what you want to talk about later on in the week. This is our deep dive on Hbar. Please make sure you like, follow, subscribe, do the social media thing. You know what it is. Anyway, let me make sure I go ahead and get out of here. All right, guys, that's the daily topic. Let's call it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media. At Twitter, at TikTok, you know, New Creation Capital. Let us know, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day.